Now, I'm going to share with you a few important elements for building OKR culture for long-term sustainability. First, before you roll out the OKR initiative, right, you need to determine the top-level executive sponsorship. This is an absolute must for any change initiative. Next, you need to designate a few key leadership roles to oversee the OKR implementation. Ideally, the executive sponsor should be the CEO, right? So it's important to involve the top management because nothing beats having a senior executive who is willing to vocally advocate for and support the OKR implementation from the beginning. Lasting initiatives need champions at the key or at the top of the corporate ladder. Without endorsement and ongoing commitment from high-level leadership, the new initiative often feel futile. C-suite executive can make or break an initiative depending on the level of support and investment. The ongoing and visible support from the CEO and senior leadership team is crucial for the OKR deployment. Invite your CEO or senior management team to talk about OKR in the town hall meeting, and have them come up with the right short article in the company e-newsletter bulletin, or get your CEO to share his thoughts in the thoughts from the CEO column in your company newsletter, and that will work also. You can also even shoot videos with the senior management team that each sharing their experience about OKR. And you can invite even media interview to publicly announce to the world that your company is embarking on OKR. Apart from the executive sponsor, you must also identify a few OKR champions. Depending on the size of your company, in terms of the number of staff, each department should have at least one champion. So if you have a big department with many sub-units, then you may consider to have one champion for each unit. The ideal ratio is 30:1, and ideally the heads of department should automatically be the OKR champion. Now, the champion works at the front edges of the implementation, working with those impacted, clearing any doubts, dealing with resistance, liaising with consultants if necessary, and providing logistical support. Perhaps the champion's most important function is that of in-house OKR experts. So when team members they have questions on the theoretical or practical aspect of the model, it is the champion's number that they will dial. So this individual will be an indispensable ingredient to OKR success. Someone with a background in OKR, of course, is obviously an attractive candidate for this role, but we believe a superior trait is enthusiasm, right? So find someone for whom the passion of OKR burns bright. Someone who instantly grabs the potential of the model and is anxious to share it with the colleagues. The champion is typically a mid-level manager who is gifted with exceptional communication skills and enjoys credibility throughout the organization. Expect the OKR champions to devote at least maybe 20% of their time, depending on how you decide to structure their role. It will likely entail just maybe a few hours a week. All right? So now, do you know why a lot of OKR deployment fail in many organizations? Well, here are 10 reasons why OKR implementation fail. First one, you tell people what to do rather than why they should do it. Secondly, you didn't convince people of why OKR makes sense. And the third one, you want to achieve too much in too little time. And the next one is, you don't consistently use an easy to understand rationale of change and a measurable objective. And the next one, you lack top management support for your change initiative. And the sixth one is you lack bottom-up support for your change initiative as well. And next, you do not have a clear communication strategy about the change initiative. This one we're going to talk about in our next video, in the following videos. Now, you ignore change resistance as an important source of learning. and you are also not taking your organization's culture into considerations. And of course, the last one, your OKR initiative lacks inspiring leadership. Now, in conclusion, actively address the fact that the very success of your change initiative depends on whether you get the right amount of top management support. Come up with the specific suggestions, what such support efforts would look like, and what kind of support do you need from your C-suite executives. You could ask for a project sponsor, a regular project steering committee, which gives you access to the top decision makers in your organizations. We recommend that you don't start this OKR initiative until you get a strong support from your top management. I wish you all the best in your OKR implementation.